Welcome to the Marcus McIntosh interview show on YouTube. I'm Marcus McIntosh. We are here at the Urbandale Chamber of Commerce, and my guests are, we're going to start with my left. We have Christy Jones with R. Jones, Allison Kate with Goodwill, Todd McDonald, ATW Training, Chuck West, who I just learned is an old college teammate of mine, small world, Midwest Family Lending Corporation, Clint Dudley, and he is with Shade Tree Auto, and Kimberly Baith, she's with Golden Openings. First of all, thank you all for joining us, and we're going to start with Christy. Tell us a little bit about R. Jones. We'll go around the table and then we'll just start talking.
Sure. I own R. Jones Collision One. We're a premier collision repair facility located on Merle Hay Road. I'm a second generation business owner. Just bought the business from my dad and my uncle. They started the business back in 1971, so we've got a good reputation of doing good quality work and taking care of our customers. And so I'm as a second generation female owned body shop owner, I am carrying that tradition along and excited about the future.
Allison?
Yes, so I'm with Goodwill of Central Iowa. We have 17 stores in Central Iowa. What those stores fund is skills training and employment services for individuals with barriers. So we're really proud of 85 cents of every store goes to support our mission, which is helping people get jobs. And we're headquartered in Johnston, but spread out all throughout the 22 county region right here in the middle of Iowa.
Todd?
I'm Todd McDonald with ATW Training. The mission of our organization is to help organizations unleash the human potential. And so we do that by providing training programs, training solutions. Last year in 2018, we did over 700 training events here, mostly in Central Iowa, but across the United States as well. So we work with a lot of organizations and just trying to help them improve their productivity and profitability by maximizing the people in their organization. So we support some of the same things that Allison does.
All right, Chuck.
I'm Chuck West with Midwest Family Lending. Mortgage company. We fund the loans and then we turn around and sell those off to the secondary market. We keep 7 or 8 investors just because we got to keep the best of every product. We're located in Urbandale. We've been located in Urbandale since 1996. We cover Iowa, Nebraska. I have a group of people in Nebraska. It actually is Freedom Lending. They do a great job as well in Omaha. We have South Dakota and also Colorado.
Clint?
Yeah, Clint Dudley with Shade Tree Auto. We're located right on 141 as you come into Grimes. We're a mechanical auto repair facility, and we won a couple of national and international awards. Our mission is to get our customers the right information to make decisions on their cars, whether it's owning it or getting rid of it or whatever it is. And we're really involved in a number of the schools around town trying to create some programs that help get people into the trade industry.
Kimberly?
I am Kimberly with Golden Openings, and I worked at a Chamber of Commerce and discovered there was no such thing as giant ceremonial scissors. So I invented the first pair of giant scissors that really cut 22 years ago, and Golden Openings is a one-stop shop that specializes in grand openings, ribbon cuttings, groundbreakings, keys to the city, and all the ceremonial supplies that you see all over the world. We've done events in 6 of 7 continents.
Wow.
And we have averaged 30% growth every year for 22 years. And we were also named the U.S. Chamber Small Business of the Year 2 years ago, and have also won a couple national and local awards, and some women-owned business awards as well.
Wow, that's impressive. I guess my first question I'm throw out to everyone out there is, what keeps you in this area? I mean, I'm sure you could do what you do in other areas. You could relocate your businesses to other areas, but what keeps you right here in Central Iowa? Whoever wants to answer can just jump in and take turns.
The people keep our organization here. It's we don't make things, we're a service organization, and so the success is really based on the quality of people you have. And I would tell you that the group of people we have is absolutely phenomenal, and you can't find that everywhere. You can, but it might be harder to do. I've lived in California for 10 or 11 years, and we've been back here, and since we came back, we're just not going anywhere else, and it's largely due to the quality of people that we not only work with, but who we live beside, and
I'd have to agree. It's, for us, it's the community. We like to be involved with other local businesses, and this is definitely a local business type of community in the greater Des Moines area. It's easy to get connected. It's easy to grow. It's a great place to raise a family. It's kind of where we wanted to be.
Anyone else want to answer?
I would say the culture of Des Moines is really special. I started my career in Las Vegas. I was out there for 8 years. I've been back here for 4 years, and Des Moines offers something really unique. That it's really hardworking people. We're generally happy people. We want to cause a greater good. It's a very philanthropic community, and that's something really special you can't find everywhere. We've got everything here from arts and entertainment, great music festivals, awesome food. So it's not hard to recruit people here. I'm a transplant. I grew up in Iowa, moved, came back, so I call myself a boomerang. Our CEO spent time in Washington, D.C. and Italy, and this is where she wanted to raise her children. So I think that's a really huge testament to this community.
I was born and raised here, so I don't see myself anywhere else. But here, the shop is about 2 miles away from where I was raised, so it's what I call home.
Anyone else? I know, Allison, you mentioned philanthropy and how important that is. I want everyone to touch on that for, what their business does or why they think philanthropy is important, especially in this day and age where the need is probably greater than it's ever been.
I can start with that. Well, first of all, I think that that's part of being a good business owner, is looking out for ways that you can help and participate or even create your own events. And what I do is look for what's called a natural fit. So, for example, when the 2 police officers were killed a couple of years ago, everyone was calling our office for Blue Ribbon because Kmart and Walmart and Target were sold out, and they wanted to put a blue ribbon up to support the officers. And some were crying, some were distraught, some were swearing, and you just kind of respond to that need. And I said, yes, we have Blue Ribbon. And I didn't even feel comfortable selling it to them because they were so distraught. So we brought in 35,000 yards of blue plastic ribbon that you could hang on trees. Some of it's still outside. And it was able to get that at a very low cost. And then I had another business that wanted to partner with us, and we called it the Blue Ribbon Fund. And it turned into a big Blue Ribbon campaign, actually, that businesses were partnering with us. We had different spots we could hand it out, and people would come collect it. Some did donations, some didn't. And it brought the whole community together, and everyone was able to get Blue Ribbon. Some were telling stories about it. I think it allowed people to grieve and talk, and our business kind of shut down for a week just distributing this Blue Ribbon. But I said, this is what's important right now. This is our community. People are hurt. The Urbandale Police Department, we do their annual event every year, and I wear the mascot when it's 110 degrees outside. So I'm like, this is easier than that. We can do this. So, and we still have a lot of this blue plastic ribbon in our office, but I always try and look for something that is a natural fit. You can volunteer at Y Camp, you can volunteer at Habitat for Humanity, but what is your heart and soul into, and what makes sense at the right time? And it may not be every year or every month, but we look for opportunities like that we can jump out and say yes, and it makes sense. And we've done a couple giant things like that I would call instrumental in the community.
Okay. I think one of the things that we do is we try to be more about it, building off of what you said. I think it has to be, what is the match? But one of the things that we do in our organization is I've encouraged employees, number one, to be on boards, to volunteer, and we give them time to go do some things, whether it's the Coleman or a camp or something like that, and we give them the time to go do those. But I think sometimes we all believe in it, but sometimes we just lose track of it. So one of the things that we did is we have someone in our team that is very purposeful about. We choose one event a month or one issue a month that we do. Maybe it's Habitat for Humanity 1 month, and the next month is the Heart Month, or the next month is something else. And so every month we do some type of event, and we let the employees choose what it is, what's close to them, what's important to them, and let them choose those type of things. And again, I agree with Kim that I think it's just part of doing business. It's not trying to get anything out of it. It's your part of giving back to the community.
I would say as a 501c3 nonprofit, I'm in a unique position because we get to see the rewards of all of these businesses that are stepping up and giving back to the communities. And for us, I'm in a unique position because I get to watch our participants walk through our doors, their evolution of what the training provides to them, and getting a job for many of them is ultimately life-changing. They get to become more independent. They may get their first apartment. They can provide things for their children for the first time ever. And that's really empowering. And we couldn't do that without partnerships from the community, people donating, people volunteering in our stores, great board that lends their expertise to help guide us in the future. And that is something that Des Moines shows up really well for, really well. And it changes lives, and it makes us a better community. We know inclusion drives innovation. We can't help businesses have that inclusion and bring people to the table that really need those jobs without the support of our community.
Chris, you want to add something?
Sure. Kind of to touch on what Todd was saying, we've been lucky in our business, and we make a profit, so we try to share in that. One of the things we do at the shop is, and it goes along with what we do. We get a wrecked car and we fix it up and we donate it to somebody who needs a car. And getting that car also changes lives too. And so we've done that quite a bit, and to help those that are just unfortunate that aren't able to have a vehicle, provide that transportation can change lives. And so that's something exciting that we do, and it just brings the morale of the shop up, and it's just a good feel-good thing to do for the people in our community.
It's interesting because I think it was Thanksgiving of 2015. My wife and I were and our children on vacation out in Colorado, and we sat one morning and listened to a guy talk about, it's really important to care. And I feel like we have a very caring group of people. They care about their customers, they care about their community, and I'm like, feel pretty good about it. And he goes, but that's just not good enough. You have to give. Anybody can care, make an impact. You got to give your money, give your time, give your expertise. You have to give. So we long drive back. What the heck does that mean? What are we going to do? Okay, we got to do something. So fast forward from Thanksgiving to March of 2016. So we came up with the MFL Cares program. It's very similar, actually, which is interesting to what you're talking about. We decided that each of our employees could choose, put a calendar together, choose a charity of the month. Something really, a lot of these cases is intensely personal to them. So we're not only going to donate financially and monetarily, it's a reasonable amount of money, but it's not a huge amount of money. But that's not really the key. The key is we're also going to take that charity and grow. Our goal is to grow the awareness of that charity through our personal and professional network. So it's through social media, it's through any way we can do it. And I will tell you, it was change. It was kind of business changing and life changing at the same time, because we do have these people come in the month before. So March and Dimes was June, so they come in and talk to us in May, and we all sit around the table. And the month before that was the Puppy Jake Foundation, and yes, the Youth Emergency Services, and it's really humbling. I sit there and I listen to these people that are really involved in this, and I'm like, how did I not know about this? It's humbling. Sometimes it's shameful. I feel like, how do we not know? But everybody leaves the building, leaves the building at the same time, going, wow, we got to do something. And people are getting involved from the organization and just spreading the word. So it's been great.
Yeah, for me, it's been a lot of hard work, and I think it is a lot of hard work for all of us here with our organizations to find success and to get the awards. But it takes more than hard work, and it takes opportunities that pop up, and a lot of times it's from people that gave us those opportunities. So for me, being able to give back, create some opportunities for new people, to volunteer for people that don't have something that I have now that I didn't have before too, kind of give a little of that back, try to get try to make something a little bit better for somebody, because it doesn't take much. You know, it's a ride to a doctor's office. You know, it's helping clean up, you know, after a storm, something like that. That just has a huge impact on people.
I'm gonna throw this out to everyone, but I'm gonna start with the ladies because, you know, especially you two owning your own businesses, do you feel that your role models or mentors to young ladies? Because you hear from a lot of young ladies in high school or college, I want to own my own business, and a lot of times the fallback may be a beauty shop. It may be something that's a typical thing that women do. How important is it for them to see, especially you two and you in in the collision repair shop, that, you know, women can do non-traditional things and they can thrive and they can succeed?
Oh, I think it's critical, and I think we need to do more to get that information out to young women. You know, I see women in the collision industry every day, and it's not just ownership, it's working on the cars, and it's actually getting their hands dirty and painting cars, and they're good. And I will tell you, women are a lot better painters than men.
That's probably not the only thing.
Well, yeah,
I agree
I'll
with
just
that.
I'll just go that far.
That's
But, yeah. So for me, it's critical that I show up and do a good job and present myself properly to women and to kids and to females. I mean, it's and I will tell you, I get a lot of women that come through my door too. They're main decision makers in the family, so they're the ones getting the cars fixed, and so it's just it's very empowering to me to see the women, and hopefully I'm empowering to them to see me in that position.
And Kimberly, you started something, you saw a need and ran with it.
That's right, exactly like that. Had a baby in the same year too.
Oh, wow.
There were 3 pairs of scissors on the way home from the hospital with our bracelets still on our wrist.
That start, could you imagine where it could become and how people, especially young ladies, are looking to you as
Yes.
a role model?
And
mentor?
we have internships for students. 90% of the time they happen to be female. I don't know why. I don't favor them, but they seem to be the ones that join Golden Openings. And we have a lot of mentorship programs. The Chamber has one that is annual that we sponsored. And I belong to several women networking groups that are National Association of Women Business Owners, Enterprising Women program, where women are bonded together for the same cause to do just what you said, inspire and motivate and enhance women business owners for younger people and generations. I speak at schools all the time. A lot of their parents or kids will ask me in return to either go speak at something else. It's contagious. It's, you know, you light up the room, you get them excited, you tell them that yes you can do it, and it's they believe it, and that's what gets them excited to go conquer whatever their dream or vision is. I've had young people call me out of the blue. I've had some walk in, and that makes you feel good on the other side, because some days I don't know if I can do it, and I go back to that. And so I think it's a catch-22 that they're reminding you that, wow, you did all this, and some days I'm inspiring them that, yes, you can do this. And so it's very rewarding on both sides to be a women business owner and participate in the organizations and lead them, and even win some awards from being a women business owner.
Anybody else want to chime in on the mentorship role model issue?
I think mentorship in general is key. I mean, youth today have more options than ever what they can pursue. And it's funny, I love my job in marketing, but if I could do anything else, I would have loved to have flipped houses or redesigned houses. But in high school, shop class was the same time as choir and band, and as a female, I was expected to be in those arts. And so no one really encouraged me to give that a shot. So I think the more we can talk to our youth about options, men and women, about potential opportunities, it's really critical. But you know, this is one area where I think our community has some growth to do with female leaders. When you get the business record best of at the end of the year, top CEOs are generally Caucasian men. And we need to do a better job of having some diversity, because it helps us as a business community just to do better across the board. So there's a lot of amazing female CEOs in this community. I happen to work for one of them. Majority of our leadership is female, and I think we need to have a bigger conversation about how they are driving us forward.
John?
When you look at you know, the mentorship versus, you know, one thing we do is we sponsor a financial literacy program for the ADM High School. It's an EverFi program, it's an online module, but it really focuses on financial literacy. So, you know, when you sit around the table with business owners, it doesn't get more real than financial literacy. You have to, you know, you understand the difference between an investment and an expense. And it's interesting because I'll have that conversation with the kids, and does everyone know that what's an investment? Oh, that's good. What's an expense? Oh, that's bad. I agree. I'm completely on board. What's a student loan? Well, it's an investment, right? It's expense, right?
Mm-hmm.
It depends on how you use it.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be your best investment or it could be your worst expense. So you got to be wary of those kind of decisions. So I do think with groups of people like this that male or female that financial literacy part is, you know, the more we can do to get involved the earlier, so they can make strong financial decisions, the better off they're going to be.
I get a lot of calls from people that say, hey, you know, you've been successful. Can I talk with you? I want to do something like you. And I always make time to do those, but an interesting thing that I've done that's maybe a little bit different is I always request that they do it early in the morning before business hours. Not that my time is any busier than others, but I want to see if they're willing to get out of bed and actually come talk, you know, with it. And you know, if they're going to show up at 6:30 or 7 o'clock in the morning to talk about something, then I know they're serious about it. And I want to see that, you know, in them. And it is. It's just another way of giving back and helping people.
I think one of the interesting facts about the Greater Des Moines area is that it's one of the top spots for entrepreneurs, especially with the younger demographics. And if you look at the Small Business Development Center, is actually directed by Christine Moffett, who was Cream Cupcake. So I think that's an interesting touch point for entrepreneurs to have access to something like that. And that's the first person that you see is Christina. I think it's very indicative of what Des Moines is doing. We're seeing a shift within the Greater Des Moines Leadership Institute of more women coming into that program. It's not something that we're actively trying to find, but every year we're getting more of these women professionals that are coming in and they're taking charge and they're starting to direct this. So I think there's a lot of that kind of behind the scenes and underneath that is starting to surge up right now. I think we'll see a lot more of that in the future.
Well, building on what Chuck said too, I don't think that we can underestimate the value of the financial literacy. You know, most people that you know want to get into a business themselves, that get into it because they have a passion for whatever that business is. Yours might have been, you know, the event and the scissors and you know your family business and things, but so many of them want to get into it that they really don't understand the business side of it. And passion is great, but it can only take you so far. You know, and so I think that's part of what we really need to help them understand is what does it mean to be a business owner.
And Des Moines is a financial town. I mean, we have more resources for these kids than about any. So we should take advantage of it.
And I don't know if this has happened to anyone else, but I remember growing up, talking financial literacy, watching my parents balance their checkbook, and that's kind of how I learned to do it. My kids, they can hook up computers, they can hook up the internet, they can do all this wiring, but when it came time to balance their bank accounts, they're asking me these questions, and I'm thinking, this is simple, you guys don't know this, they know all this high-tech stuff,
Yeah.
but this small simple stuff, I think I at first failed them on it because I had to teach them this, how do you balance a checkbook, where do you put stuff? So that's the kind of, is that the generation we're dealing with now? They know all this high-tech stuff, all this fancy stuff, but maybe the little simple things are kind of slipping through the cracks.
Yeah, you know, I actually have a daughter that just wrapped up 7th grade. And it was funny, a couple months ago we were having a car ride back from an event downtown, and she started asking me about investing in the stock market, because that was something they were learning about in school. And I said, well, yeah, you can put some money in, and if it does well, you get a certain percentage of interest. And she says, okay, well, how is that when it comes to like saving for retirement? I'm like, well, that's similar, but it's a little bit different. You know, it's a little more guaranteed, but doesn't have potential to earn as much. But each year that interest gets confounded. And she says, so shouldn't I start that now?
Yes.
That's why you're my favorite kid.
I about had to stop the car. I'm like, well, yeah. She said, well, why doesn't more people do that? And I said, well, because maybe they want a boat or a nice car or a bigger house. And she says, yeah, but then they'd have more money when they retire. And, you know, I was the first one to say, well, they don't teach this stuff in school anymore. But it was from school that she got introduced to that, and it was on her to start asking the questions. But you know, I was pretty happy that it is part of the curriculum, and we're starting to see more of that again.
You know, we for one class, so you get 40 minutes, and for the seniors in high school, I'll go in there and talk to them about. All I'm going to try to do is make you street-wise as far as credit. Okay, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you what pitfalls to avoid, what you can do. You know, the beauty of credit is you don't start in the tank. If you do it right, you get a start. You know, your credit score can start up here when you finally get one. But it's just 40 minutes, and it's interesting because they're like, oh, this is important. But at the end, they're like, oh, this stuff's important. And I'm like, it's going to make a huge difference in your life, and it'll save a lot of pain if you just do these 4 or 5 really simple things and do those things.
We're going to take a short break on the Marcus McIntosh YouTube show. We're back with much more in just a minute. Welcome back to the Marcus McIntosh show on YouTube. We are talking with a number of business people, and we left off with Allison. We were talking about financial literacy before I rudely interrupted.
No, you're so
Allison,
fine.
go ahead.
I think I was just going to echo that foundationally we can't ignore what our youth need, and that when I was in school, if you were taking physics and pre-calc, you didn't take consumer math because they assumed you were fine. But we didn't know how to balance a checkbook either. So it was really critical. And I think back to my first years in college, what set me up for success was my family and consumer science classes. I mean, if I didn't know how to scramble some eggs, like I wasn't eating some days, or sewing on a button. We kind of discount a lot of those foundational things now because we want our children to be so advanced and so trained. But at the end of the day, you've got to live day to day, and that is the things like balancing a checkbook, or knowing how to operate a stove, or fixing a suit button so you look impressive when you go into an interview. And I think we can't ignore that.
Is that part of the Goodwill mission? Does it all play into the Goodwill mission?
So we do a lot with preparing people for the workforce. So that's everything from hygiene to what you should wear, to soft skills like eye contact and being able to show up on time, how to deal with conflict in the workplace. So for a lot of people with barriers, they may have never faced that before. And then it's all the skills and the general things you need for whatever industry you're entering into as well. But we want to make sure when they go into a business, they are prepared from start to finish.
And Allison mentioned something I want to ask everyone else. You mentioned being prepared for it and being ready. How important is it for a person to be dressed neatly, to give you that eye contact and not, looking down, asking questions, for the person to be ready and confident in themselves when they're stepping in that door, wanting a job?
I think so much of it about fundamentals. I was at a conference yesterday speaking, and last night I was sitting around with a bunch of other business owners, and we were talking about the workforce coming in, and they were really talking about it. It's not all the knowledge that they need to have. It's showing up on time. It's respecting each other. It's communication. It's working hard. Having good work habits. They said if we could just get them, we'll teach them. We'll train them everything they need to know. If we can just get them to show up and be good people, and I think that's a message that we need to get across. Folks, what does it mean to just be someone that works in the workplace?
It's easier to train in the skill set that you need. It's hard, those soft skills are harder to train. They're almost ingrained in people, so it's either you've got them or you don't. I can teach somebody how to fix a car, that's easy, but I can't teach somebody how to get up on time and get to work or to work hard. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and the culture fit within the business too. I mean, very little about what we interview is the technical side of things. I can get that out of the resume or follow up on the contacts, but I want to see how you present yourself. I want to see if you did take the time to get dressed up for it. Those little things are important to me because you made that important to you too. So that's it's interesting that the people that do show up late or call and reschedule, and they just don't get a second interview.
Now, I know some of you at this table have won national and international awards, so I just want to throw it out to those of you who have been so honored that you can talk about the awards you've won and why it's important. I guess I'm looking right at Kim.
Well, first you have to apply to qualify, so I think everyone should apply for awards because you have to stop and smell the roses, and we all spin 100 miles an hour, 7 days a week, 24/7, go, 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 and sometimes I think it's important for your team to stop, pause, and reflect and enjoy that moment together. I'm very competitive, so it goes with my competitive nature. And so I think it's fun, and you don't always win, but nobody has to know, or if you don't, it's okay. But we have been, I think we've won over 22 awards in 22 years of business, ironically, and some of them local, some of them national. We've been the Small Business of the Year for the Urbandale Chamber and the Grimes Chamber. A couple national awards was the Enterprising Women National Award winner and the NABO, National Association of Women Business Owners finalists, and then the local award winner. And then the U.S. Chamber was probably one of the most exciting things. They have a Small Business of the Year winner owner, and we were runner-up the year before, and I said, we can do better than that. So I called and found out what this is all about, what do we need to do better, where were we short on answers, went out there to the event, and tried again, and we ended up winning the whole thing, and that was kind of surreal. And it was a $25,000 award, so we gave that back, some of it to charity, we shared it with our employees, we invested it back in the business, but that was almost like make-believe. Sometimes I still don't believe it happened to be the top small business in America. And then they also had a Community Champion Award, and we also won that. So they said they've never had any business take home both awards at the same time. So that, if we don't ever win any other award, I don't care, because that kind of, okay, we can sell business now. No, just kidding. So those were kind of instrumental, and they mean a lot to me for the hard work that you do and the nights that you do cry all night, or something goes wrong, or there's a catastrophe, or employees aren't behaving the way they should, or they quit, or they don't show up, or makes all the bad things good, in my opinion, that someone is recognizing you, that you are doing things right. And I take all of it to heart, probably too much, and sometimes that can get the best of you as well. I always try and keep my family first, then business, but that doesn't always happen either when you're a women business owner. And so I just think that it's really important to do that.
I think, when we received our award, we won, we were recognized as one of the top 10 businesses in the United States doing what we do, the training side of things. And our approach has always been a little bit different, but I've learned something from Kim, because we were talking about it one day, in that I think that the greatest thing about it was the recognition that the employees received for it. And, I've always been one, we haven't applied for awards, we haven't done that. That just isn't kind of who I am with it. But I recognize what it means to employees, to work for that. And so I look at it now as more of an honor to them than it is to me, and what I've done with my business. And I see the pride that they have in working, for something.
Go to the event.
And going to events and seeing that, and being able to say that they work for a top 10 company in the United States doing what they're doing. It also validates who they are, because we wouldn't receive the awards without them. And so I think it's great.
I'm sorry.
I think I agree with that. My approach to awards has always been, what's the intention? Is it a storytelling opportunity? Is it a morale booster opportunity? At Goodwill, we've taken home the AMA Iowa Nonprofit Marketing Awards last year. More importantly, in my vision as a competitive person, we've taken home the People's Choice Award, which means our peers are recognizing us for the hard work we're doing. And for my team, being at a nonprofit, we have a limited budget, we have limited resources, we've got to be really creative. And for them, it was just a huge boost in morale, about, okay, we're doing something right because this group of marketing executives in our community are saying so. But then for us, we look at, there's 100 people that are in marketing in that room that see us get that award, and marketers are storytellers. They want to go out and talk and talk about it. And so for them to be invested in our story and help spread that message was more than worth the $30 entry fee on what we got return and exposure. And so that's really been the value for us, and the way we've approached awards is what would be the benefit of this? Because you can apply for awards all day, every day. There's everything out there, but making sure there's intention behind it has been our strategy.
Quite.
Yeah, for us, it was a lot like Todd. We really never decided to go out and start applying for awards, but we did get nominated for a local award, Community Champion Award, for some of the philanthropic work that we were doing, volunteering. That got us noticed by the U.S. Chamber Award, the same award that Kimberly won the whole thing. We got one of the top 100 spots there, so we got to go to Washington D.C. and was fortunate to travel with her one of those years, and we had a contingency from the Urbandale Chamber. It was a pretty big deal. It made us feel pretty special. But after that, it was you could see the recognition from the customers and the employees that they just felt good. They felt a sense of pride from having that. So we said, all right, well, let's see what we can do. So we did. We started, leveraging it. We wanted to see how far can we take this small auto repair shop in Grimes, Iowa, change oil for a living. But we applied for the American Business Awards, the Stevie Awards, and we just missed the cutoff for that. So they had an international version. I'm like, well, the same application, we're just going to fill that out just to get some practice in it. We won bronze internationally for small retail company here, and that was in Barcelona. So we made plans to go on to that. But we had
Duty.
It's a great intention, the ceremonies in Barcelona, so we're putting it in.
The problem was they had 450,000 protesters in the streets at the time.
Oh, no.
So we diverted. We missed the award ceremony. I'm like, I'm not dragging my life through protesters to get an award. But the next year we had applied for the American Business Awards and we won gold in that category out in New York City. And then found out about a month later we won gold in the International Business Awards for a small retail company of the year. And that was in London, so we did get to go to that award ceremony. We were fortunate to have our manager and our service advisor come out. And actually, it timed up just right with the Urbandale Chambers trip out to Europe. And Tiffany Minke got the ship that she was on to dock so that she could get on a taxi, to get on a train, to get over to London to attend the award ceremony. She was in town for less than 24 hours, and she hopped back on a plane to get back the next morning. So she made an effort to get out there, and it was just phenomenal. Such an award.
I'd like to congratulate all the award winners. We're going to wrap things up by going around the table and everybody can give their business one more time and any contact information, Facebook, website, they are comfortable giving out to people who might be watching and are interested. We're going to start with you, Christy.
Again, I'm Christy Jones. I own R. Jones Collision 1, and you can find me website rjonescollision.com and on Facebook as well too. And just know if you got hit with hail, we can take care of you.
No, I'm good. Allison.
Yes, Allison Kate, Goodwill of Central Iowa. We are at dmgoodwill.org, active on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn, and our username is dmgoodwill.
All right, Todd.
Todd McDonald with ATW Training. You can reach us at atwtraining.com, and we're on LinkedIn and Facebook and all the other places as well.
My former teammate, Chuck.
I'm Chuck West with Midwest Family Lending. You can jump on in midwestfamilylending.com. It's a long way, but you can get there. Also, you can get on mflcares.com. That's a philanthropic part of it. I will tell you that we've been the best local mortgage company by City View for the last 3 years, which is a testament to the people that we have. I don't do that. I don't do loans, so it's really them and not me. And then the 2018 Business of the Year for Urbandale, and that I think speaks to the City View speaks to how they do their business, and the Urbandale really speaks to who they are. So.
Clint.
Yeah, well, you can drive or tow your car up to our shop around 141. And you can find us online at shadetree.biz.
Kimberly, last but not least.
Yep, I'm Kimberly Baith again with Golden Openings, and if you're having a ribbon cutting or a grand opening or a groundbreaking or you need a big key to the city, that's what we do, and ceremonial scissors. And we have a Facebook, a LinkedIn, all of the other stuff, Twitter. And I will say one more thing that I thought of, that all these awards are free advertising as well. We've never bought an ad in our life. So all these stories, press releases, promotions, photos, dinners, pictures, social media, it's all free. You know, besides the award entry. So that's why you can't afford not to do stuff like this.
Well, thank you all for coming in. We appreciate it.
Yeah,
You've been
thank you.
part of the Marcus McIntosh YouTube show. We'll see you back here next time.